Leadership Academy Foundations of Medical Education video series. What keeps you engaged as faculty?
For me, it's hard to envision being in medicine and not having a teaching role because it hits so many parts of my pleasure in being a physician and also kind of my professional development. For one, what I found with teaching is it's a really great way to stay up to date. I can't tell you how many times I thought I was up to date, and then I had a resident or student come in and mention the latest guideline or something that changed. And I had to pause and go back and read about it. It also, for me, make sure that I really understand what I'm doing, because there's nothing like breaking something down and trying to explain to a learner why you're doing something or how some part of the body works and having to teach it. And it's definitely, for me, shown where I've had gaps in my own knowledge. It really, again, promotes lifelong learning because you're constantly reviewing subjects so that you can teach them to others. And then you're also kind of already exposed to lectures and case studies and case reviews and all those things that kind of keep your mind fresh. There's also I get a ton of fulfillment personally in watching folks grow. I think some of my favorite things, two favorite things is to see over my years as a clinical educator is one, seeing docs in the community where I train them, and even having friends or family members come and say, oh, I saw Dr. So-and-so, they said you were part of their growth and how they became a doctor, and that's pretty neat. And the other is the learner that's struggling. So sometimes struggling learners can be very frustrating and really challenging. But when you watch a struggling learner finally get it and be successful and graduate and then later on see them in the community or wherever they practice, that's super rewarding. So I think teaching, being a faculty member and being a program director has been super rewarding for me for all those reasons. But it allows me to be a doctor, but also to have this whole other wonderful aspect to my day-to-day and to kind of my legacy in medicine.
Is that just, really there's just this constant opportunity to learn and to just kind of remind yourself what is the case, and double check what you had learned in the past, look at if there's anything new, if there's anything you might not have understood perfectly. And that just really keeps you a lot sharper. It also just kind of, I don't know, it can be just really fun. I've found that all the residents are very engaging, that they're really, I've been impressed by kind of just their level of just interest and, willingness to just kind of get in there and do things. And I think they really actually do thrive on going in there and doing things as opposed to just sitting and watching and letting their brain just fall asleep.
Leadership Academy Foundations of Medical Education video series.